Good evening. This is Christina with Heart Acres Homestead. I managed to get the energy to come out and give you guys kind of a tour of the backyard. I worked with my middle daughter this afternoon and we planted the rest of our little guys. And so we bought snapdragons, which are her favorite flower, and some more alyssum, and some petunias, which they're a little bit mad, but we just got them planted. And then I had started a bunch of yellow squash in the two pots at the end, those two guys there, and they all came up, and so I had to transplant those guys. And so I moved one there, and there's my girls. They're waiting for some treat before bedtime here. I transplanted another one in here, and oh, here's the girls with some treat. Hey, I could use a hand. Can you tear and throw? Oh, they're so excited to get treats. Okay, so tear it a little bit smaller. Oops. Okay, so the gray one is Yin. She was from last year. The big orange one there is Elliot, and she's our oldest girl out here besides Bo Peep. The little brown duck right there is Bean, and the duck over there that has the little pompadour is Muffin. We're not sure about genders yet because they're still pretty young. We just got them this spring, and so we got to raise them from babiness. Then this one right here, the dark one, that one is Phoenix, and that one right there, she's a Easter egger, little stinker, she's fast. That one's Nargle, and then the white one at the back fence there is Buckbeak. Brownie points for you guys catching the references there. Our naming scheme for the birds has come from our first set of leghorns that we had 8-9 years ago, and I bought 4 white chickens, and we couldn't tell them apart, and so we just named them all Kevin, because that was when Up, the movie, was really big. And I don't know if you remember the bird in the end, but it was a female bird that the little boy had named Kevin. It turned out to be a female, and she had babies and everything. And so we just named all of ours Kevin. But as they got older, we got to know their personalities. And so we had Kevin Speedy, Kevin Evil, Kevin Deer, and Kevin Sneaky. Their personalities were very, very fitting for their namesakes there. This weekend, it was my birthday, and my husband cut all the grass from the front garden, and we moved it back here to give the girls some softness and green, so we can have bugs, and hopefully it will take back here. I'm just going to water it and water it and water it, and my hubby is going to hopefully cut another strip from where my rhubarb is at. I had mentioned that in a previous episode as well, because it's, I think, competing. They're struggling. So anyway, I like it. It makes the coop look so much better, and the birds definitely have more to do. We can come out here and throw seeds out here for them and whatnot. Today when we were planting and transplanting, my little brown duck Bean, she kept reaching through the fence and grabbing all of my seeds that had just come up, and the squash I had just transplanted. I moved my chicks and hens. Those guys were from the front yard. I used to have a ton of them. They have dwindled through various giftings to people and moves and whatnot, and so I moved them out here. But anyway, there's my middle girl's snapdragons. I planted some more alyssum. The sunflowers are getting ginormous. And then this is just morning glories. I think I had a tomatillo in there, and I think I have one in there, but I'm not sure because Beanie was eating everything. So this side we planted a few more snapdragons and more sunflowers. There's the mint getting bigger. I still have a kale right here that I need to plant. I just didn't get to it today. I fizzled. I had so much stuff I had to get done inside that I just couldn't justify staying outside all day. I have this little guy. I have no idea what it is. It looks like a kale or a cabbage. I have no idea. So they're going to be a surprise plant. I'm just going to let them go and see what happens. And then out on the back side, through my little gate, in this I have the woolly thyme, and I thought this was a sunflower down here, but it is a gourd or a squash of some sort. So another surprise, and let's see what happens. And here is where I did seeds for all the cucumbers. I have the 2 that we bought from the store, and then the rest I just did seeds. I'm gonna have to come back here and till already. There's my kitty. She's in her cat run. That's Ogie. Hi, baby. Mama's coming out to give you food in a minute, okay? Yeah, good girl. She's a good girl. Alright, so down here I planted sweet peas. So we'll see if those guys come up. At this point, they're just sticks. Still have not cleared out this last section in here with birthday and whatnot going on. We just did not get to it. So hopefully this weekend. This area is going to be my beets and parsnips and turnips, radishes, things that don't take quite as long to grow. Alright, so let's go inside. I was watering really good earlier, and so now it's very wet, very cold. Here's 2 more of the squashes I had to move. This one had noodle beans in it. I've got 1 left right there. My male duck, Donuts, under there with his woman, Dunkin, decided to come over here and eat them today, so I had to cage them. And then while I was at it, I caged up the other snapdragons I planted and my struggling oregano there. So if you didn't catch, Dunkin was our first one. She was a duck we had found at one of the ponds that we had out here. Somebody had turned her loose out there, and being a domestic duck, she was starving to death. Her crop in the front was all concave. And so we brought her home, and we've had her for 9 years now. And she used to be in with the chicken girls, but we got Donuts last year, 4th of July as a matter of fact, so we're coming up on 1 year having him. And they, of course, have bonded, and she's too old to have viable eggs anymore, but he thinks that she is fantastic and perfect the way she is, and so he loves her anyway. We are hoping that the 2 babies, Muffin and Bean, all going with the Dunkin' Donut theme, will, I know, I heard you, will turn out to be females. I would surely love to be able to have more duck eggs. They are just delicious, and we have just loved being able to get eggs from her. And she's getting finicky in her old age now, and she's just lays eggs wherever she wants, and so now we have to go on an Easter egg hunt every night to find the eggs. But, you know, being 9 years old, still laying eggs is pretty fantastic, so I'm proud of that duck. She's my baby. Donuts was also a rescue at the same pond, which is ironic, so that was kind of funny. So anyway, all right, so here's the zucchinis. They are finally growing. So I have 1, 2, 3, and then I have seeds planted there, there, and here. So we'll see if they come up. I wasn't sure that these guys were going to live. They all should be the same type of zucchini, so if they do, there shouldn't be any kind of cross-pollination or anything. Last year, we had Dunkins because I had planted zucchinis and pumpkins side by side, and so it looked orange on the outside like a pumpkin, but it was zucchini-like on the inside. That's my Swiss chard. It's doing really good there. And then I have a little marigold there, and there, and there. That's a struggling nasturtium there. And then sunflower, sunflower, sunflower. My one tomato that I got in the back, I had bought an extra one because I didn't think the one out front was going to make it. Then it made it, and then it died because we keep getting hail and cold. So, all right, so the one eggplant, the one okra I have right there. So seeds have not come up in the other holes yet, which are there. That clump there fully died, and so nothing there. So this may be a big empty patch. I don't know. So these are our beans. They're doing really good. I just noticed today that I had a combination of, these are 3 beans here. Pretty sure my kiddos got confused when they were helping me plant because this was supposed to just all be peas. And so I got 3 beans there, and then I had nothing come up in this one. And then only 2 beans over here. And so I think they went back and like replanted in ones they had already done and had forgotten, which is okay. I've got beans soaking tonight. I will bring them out tomorrow and get them planted. More peas, and then another type of bean here. And you can see a little bit of the hail damage that these guys got here, but they actually pulled through. So these are my 2 hot peppers, which I think I need to fertilize them. They're looking a little pale. And I got another marigold, 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 and more beans. And then the kale, the other one I just bought, is going to go where this bucket is. And then it's a kale, dinosaur kale, cabbage, and then nasturtium, 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 which do taste very good. I didn't know if I was going to like them, and they're pretty yummy. Another marigold. The marigolds came from my friend. She blessed me with some plantlings that had been clearanced because they were struggling, and they're doing pretty good. The sticks here are all bush beans, if they survive and come up. So we'll see. Oh my goodness. Look down here. Oh, all right. So there's a nasturtium flower. So these guys are good in salads. I like to just eat it just like that. I'm not going to eat this one though, because we are trying to just let things grow and learn and experiment this year. Wanting to go towards the goal of just raising more of our food. And so I'm not going to eat a whole lot of them this year. We'll see. I don't know. It depends. There's quite a few of them planted, so if they start flowering like crazy, I might. Yellow squash, they're doing fantastic. And then, oh, let me show you. Hopefully it's not too dark. This is the asparagus back here. And, oh, where's he at? Oh, can you see it? Can you see him? There he is. One so far there, and I had one more that was slightly taller further up here. There it is. Can you see it? So yay, 2 of them lived after being planted upside down for a near 2 weeks. The others I had bought as backup to see if they would replace the other ones. Nothing yet, so I'll keep watering and we'll just experiment and see what happens. I do have blueberries on this blueberry bush, pretty loaded. We did plant this peach tree, and I did find out that the peach tree over there by the compost we planted almost 5 years ago, and we named her Philippa. And this one, I can't remember what we coined this one. It was another P name. I can't remember. I'll have to go look at my notes. I have been compiling an extensive list of plants that have been named. Yes, I am that kind of a dork. So I can come back later on once I have everybody named. And there's our pumpkin. It's getting big and doing great. Eggplants are struggling from the stupid hail, but I got leaves coming in all over now, so that makes me happy. This little guy down here's got it rough, but yeah, they're getting there. So yeah, that's what we got done today. Hopefully by this next weekend we have to separate Donuts. I need to put him on a side by himself and then put the 3, which I think are female, next to him, but not together. He has such a high drive for breeding, and I don't want that. And the baby girls, if that's what they are petrified of him. And so I want him close so he feels like they're together, but not able to breed. And then that way I can get the ducks out of the chicken area, so it gives the girls more space and it's not quite as damp in there. The girls are so messy. Ducks are so messy. I had vowed after Dunkin to never have another duck, and after rescuing Donuts and fearing I was going to lose her this winter, I didn't want him to be by himself, and I couldn't put him with the chickens because of his mating drive, and he was hurting the hens. And so I went ahead and got 2 baby ducklings and wanted to just kind of see what happened. They are starting to talk through the fence, and what I'm calling little girls go up to him and bow their heads down and kind of do the same little dance that Dunkin did when I first brought him home last year. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I hope we have girls. But anyway, that's the area I want to kind of set up for them so they have protection from the hail. And I want to plant buckwheat back there and some more lettuce, maybe some things that, you know, if it comes up and comes quick, it's okay if they eat it. So that's this weekend's project, besides weeding that final little area right there. I want to get all those guys out so that they don't seed and send more weeds into my yard. Thankfully I did get weed fabric this year, which has helped tremendously with the amount of weeds that takes over every time I water, but I'm still fighting back here quite a bit, so I still want to try and work some fabric around the blueberries and just kind of connect, you know, to the rest of these areas. I did plant marigolds here and seeds, so I'm waiting to see if anything comes up. I think I did nasturtium seeds here as well, and I did nasturtiums in front of the baskets over, or the big pots over there. So I'm waiting to see if those guys come up. I'm not sure. I know peas are not typically a happy plant in sun, and this area has a lot of shade, but it does get the high noon sun. So I'm worried about them making it to adulthood, but yeah, we'll see. This year, it's the first year I've really had the drive to get out here and do anything in quite a few years now, and so I'm excited, just having fun and playing with them and watching my chicks grow up and the ducks grow up, and it's just been fun. So we'll see what happens. We lost half of our flock this last winter, and so I didn't necessarily want to replace the flock with ducks, but I did because of the fear of losing Dunkin, because she's so old. And so we don't have as many hens, especially laying ones right now. But they're doing okay. Yeah, they're older girls. 2 of them are broody right now, so they're being stinkers and keep wanting to set on the eggs, and we have to keep pulling them away and keep taking them out. But anyway, yeah, that's it. That's it for tonight. So just wanted to share what we got done. Still trying to get some more things done, and changing it, and kind of sticking to our mantra about growing as we go. And so that's where we're at. So grow as you go, just like us. Always learning, always changing. And have a wonderful evening. Thanks for watching. See you next time.